Kennegiser,
Here.
Marks, Richard,
Here.
King, Seaver, Graves,
Here.
Shelby.
Here.
Item number 2, petitions from the audience.
Mr. Chairman, this is Mr. Kelly. Mr. Kelly has recently lost a son and is going to request this evening that that park board would consider sending on to council. It's not on the agenda, but to send on to council the authority to have a funeral at Bobby Buck Park, which was a place where his son, Cole, his name Cole,
Yes, sir.
Cole, played when he was a kid. And he recently lost his son about 3 days ago. And so this is I'm standing here on behalf of our friend, Mr. Kelly. And would you like to tell the park board about your son?
My son, his name was Colt Kelly. He was, went to school through Pryor. He also went in the Army, did a tour in Iraq, got blown up 3 times, got traumatic brain injury and stuff like this. He come back as a wounded warrior, more like a wounded warrior. He was a 100% disabled veteran. And then while he was down, no shining star, but he was a good kid. He was a good man here. He helped a lot of people, and he knew a lot of people. So he had his downs too, as well as his ups. I'm asking this in honor of him, and if you all agree to it, I'm asking you to say, hey, you can have a time frame, whatever time frame you say to have this memorial, and we'll do whatever you ask. You just have to be close to my daughter's house. She lives right there, right across from Bobby Buck Park.
So you were wanting to do this on Saturday?
On Saturday the 6th.
November the 6th.
Yes, sir.
So there would be time for council action to reserve Bobby Buck Park at a particular time that you would like to have that funeral.
Anytime you guys say.
We'll defer to you as long as it's daylight hours.
How about 1 o'clock?
Yeah. So
Would that be okay?
sure. So our heart goes out to you, Mr. Kelly, and park is your park too. It's your park. So.
My grandkids don't play.
Well, mighty good. So, on behalf of Mr. Kelly, I'm standing here as a petition from the audience. And normally petition from the audience doesn't have an exchange back and forth. But it would be something that you all could talk among yourselves with. And I intend to, unless anybody objects, to recommend to council that we do this at Bobby Buck Park on the 6th.
Do we need to make a motion, or?
No, it's not on the agenda.
We can't do anything with it, but we,
That's correct.
You can certainly.
we just accept what you said. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Mr.
you.
Kelly.
Thank you, sir.
Frank, would you have any questions about any of that, or? No. Okay.
Item number 3, discuss possibly approve the minutes of the September 27, 2021 regular meeting.
So move.
So moved. It's moved. Second. Seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Item number 4, discussion possible action regarding allowing Lakes Area Abate Chapter 13 to host a bike and treats event on Halloween from 4 to 6 at Centennial Park.
Representative of Lakes Area Abate. I also work for Melton's Air Conditioning, if any of you know me. I've been there for years. We would like to have a bike. They have trunk or treat at the park at Whitaker Park, and I understand Life Fellowship Church is having a very big event. But we'd like to also do something for the community, so we would like to do it at Centennial Park, and we're going to have motorcycles out there and give away free candy, and let the kids enjoy seeing the bikes. Everybody always enjoys that, and just do something for the community. And I would like to ask permission if we could do that.
You talking Saturday night, the 30th?
No, excuse me, Sunday.
Sunday the
Halloween,
31st.
when everybody else is doing trick-or-treating from 4 to 6 p.m.
Okay.
I don't see any issues with it.
Discussion?
I'm thinking, the only thing about that park is it's not well lit.
4 to 6.
Yeah, and so I'm gonna say at 6 o'clock, what sunset's about 6:30 or so hopefully we'll have a clear day.
I think this is a great community service.
We're trying to do a lot more with the ABATE, and if you noticed, or if anybody, with the American Legion, we just did a bench that was donated to the American Legion and the Kyle Brindley. I'm not sure where they're setting it yet, but, you know, ABATE is trying to be a little bit more active in the community. They also do the toy run and stuff, so this is just another way to put ourselves out there.
Okay, I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Motion made to allow this. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. Discussion? Hearing none? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you, you can do that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for doing it.
All right, y'all have a good evening.
You too, thank you.
Get cotton candy, I may come up.
That's not far back. It'll be up there.
Item number 5, discuss possible recommend council action regarding approving of the 2022 Park Board meeting schedule. That's the third Monday of every month,
Fourth Monday of every
fourth
month,
Monday of every month at 5:30.
except December, you'll notice we are having it on the 19th because of the Christmas
Christmas.
holiday. So
Okay.
that's the only one that's gonna be adjusted.
Make a motion, we approve.
Motion made, motion seconded.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, sorry.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Item number 6, park report, Mr. Powell. What, did your paperweight fall on your foot or what?
I wish. Okay, so nothing really needs a total agenda item, but I got a few things here. So I guess we'll start out with the cemetery thing since it's in your packet. That's more or less what you've asked, about a few times, of what's left. So everything where it says total lots available and stuff, that's Graham only. Fairview's a whole different subject, but there's not very many left in Fairview. But so we've done what we've been averaging. Now in 2021, if you look on this asterisk, I didn't put those numbers in with the average because this year's not over. But so the lots sold, the average there is also on top of that, what we average a year of burials. So basically, about 117 lots a year. We got about 6.5 years left before Graham, it's not filled up, but sold out. So I'm going to probably get the engineer. We still have all that open land on the west side in front of the shop. And that's already had drainage put in. So I'm gonna go ahead and get with him and this next year, or possibly next year, to go ahead and plot out some new sections and go with Graham and open up some sections straight south of the shop.
Wasn't there some areas that they had talked about before?
Well, I've got some plotted out north of Fairview. That's gonna be a whole lot more expensive because it's drainage and roads. But Graham, if we don't do something with Graham pretty quick, like I said, that's 6.5 years. Just that when I worked at the cemetery, everything's backwards. When I worked there, we averaged about 60 in Fairview and 30 in Graham, and now it's about 30 in Fairview and 60 in Graham. With the total lots available, if you look at that, and then single lots, it's kind of scattered throughout those. You don't sell the single ones very often, but anyway, so between what we bury a year and the sell a year, just average. It could be a little longer, it could be, you know, a little less, so.
Frank, help me understand this, I'm trying, so if you think about, this is primarily Graham, I mean, you got, on your lots available, is that Graham only, the ones you're
Yeah,
saying? Okay.
yeah.
If I were to say, how many lots do we have platted in Graham?
No, total, you mean just total general?
Yeah, is it,
I-
is it the 772 plus,
That 772 is what total lots are available, vacant, for sale, that's what's left.
okay, 635 is lots,
Well, that's the last like 10-year average, kinda, but that tells you how many barrels of lots we've sold. Like in 2010, we've done 50 barrels in Graham, and then we sold 48. So those are what we've done each year. So at the average, at the bottom, we're averaging 60 barrels a year, and then selling basically about 58 lots a year. So if you add those 118, you know, to a year, you only got about 6.5 years for we'll sell up that 772 spaces.
like, I guess the number that, I understand that, man. I think, what I'm thinking is, that we got a plot of land out there that, let's say, got 1,500 lots on it. I'm making up numbers. And in Graham, if it was 1,500 lots, 664 are being used. I mean, have something in the ground there. So we got like 900, if that was 1,500, some of those have been sold and some of them haven't been sold. Do we have a sense of, and I know we had some issues about these lots that people have bought, and some of them will probably never be used, I'm assuming,
Most of those are in Fairview.
or in Fairview side.
Because Graham didn't even open till 67. So Fairview's the ones you had people buying in 30s, 40s, 50s, and
Yeah,
families moved on, and they're probably gonna sit there just vacant forever, you know. But Graham's a little different story, you know, I mean, it didn't open till 67. Now, one of my guys that works at cemeteries, that was his project last couple of weeks. He's been running numbers. There were some other numbers that I didn't put in the chart that were some total. He had it figured where like, there's like, say, 15% of lots. If you want to look at percentage of a whole, he said basically we've used 85% of Graham. He did have some numbers, other numbers that I just put. I just wanted to put like what's left.
used being somebody's in it or it's
They're
been
just sold.
purchased.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. And he, like I said, he had some other numbers total, but it came down to basically 85% has been used. So the 772 lots that are left is basically equals 15% of what's available in Graham. That don't include like if we open the news, because I don't know how many graves are in what would be. If we open them graves, I don't know how many lots are available in that area, but quite a few, because up towards the shop, that's wide. It's, you know, it kind of, that section narrows down, but there's going to be quite a few. There's probably going to be more graves in that area than what was on the far east side that we opened, you know, whenever it was 10 years ago. So.
do we know, have we talked about, as we fill these cemeteries in, are we gonna allow people, I need to say this in a, who gets to determine is if people want to go into Graham, are we going, even though we may have lots available in Fairview, are we gonna allow people, are we gonna build new additions into Graham to allow people to go in there even though there are lots in other parts of the
Well,
Fairview?
when they come to us, it's their choice. We don't tell them where. If they ask for Fairview, there's still lots available, but we do not sell very, in fact, the only thing left available in Fairview's on the far west side where the funeral home, that little strip right down there is about the only ones for left. And we, oh man, I don't even want to throw out a number, but even since I've been there, I bet we haven't sold 20. I mean, people just don't buy over there. It stays really wet, mushy. There is a Babyland section there, but and then at one time years ago, there was a big thing there. Y'all remember the Stampers, the trailer park that used to be there? Stampers actually owned a whole lot of it, and that's when I worked there. I was just an employee, so I don't really know the whole details, but there was some stuff. The city ended up buying back a lot of lots from them. And so that one time on all our cars, they were actually sold. I don't remember what the deal was, but that's why I was going to push a couple years ago to open North Fairview, because right now, say if people have family in Fairview, they are having to come to Graham, you know, if they don't want that strip there. But it's going to be a lot more expensive, you know. But so when we got these numbers, you've been asking about this for a while, so we got that one strip just right south, and I thought, well, we can go ahead and go with that, open that up, or not open it, but in the next couple of years anyway.
So where was the military section going to be?
You need off Fifth Street?
Well, that was going to be in that North Fairview section, but that doesn't say we can't still incorporate something when I get with the engineer and we plot out this strip here. If y'all go out there much or can see in your head, so right in front of our shop, there's where the parking issue. So we have it, there's going to be, I don't know how many feet, but all the roads, line up, go across. So there's kind of a strip there until the next road. And so we're probably not going to sell lots in that area, either make a big parking lot there, like for the actual public, or spot it, and then start the sections. But that's came up already that we could incorporate a military section, maybe, in one of these sections.
The overlay is so nice now that they've done in Fairview.
When we done the
Maybe
drainage,
that would-
drainage more or less is already kind of put in. So all we'd have to do is a couple roads, and they could be gravelled at first. In fact, a lot of them tell you it's better to have gravel for a couple years to get them packed in. So it wouldn't be overly expensive to have this survey, to be the engineer's cost to survey and plot it. But it's not like we're going to.
So we're not talking about buying new land, acquiring new property. This is undeveloped, and you're wanting to develop it.
Yeah, we've actually found some old maps, where, like when it opened in '67, that it was actually plotted originally, but, things have changed in the shop and stuff, so we'll have it totally redone. Because we got some ideas, because like I said, right in front of the shop, it's real wide, so we won't necessarily put a road, but like halfway in it, for our sake, what we're going to put, we've called it roadway. Fairview used to have them throughout the hills, but eventually they sold them out for lots. But it would be like for us, for access to getting in to dig, not necessarily for the public to drive in, just leave it like an open area, not gravel or paved, but just in that way when we have to get in, instead of driving all the way down through stones, to get to it, it's kind of a, access type road. But like I said, anyway, I just wanted to show you what we, on the average, it's going, give or take a year or two, it's about 6.5 years before what we got there is at least all sold, used or sold.
And how much lead time do you need to develop, to turn the undeveloped into developed, where you can plot it?
Basically, like for next year's budget, like we still have the plans this year to pave Graham. You know, we done Fairview last year. And so, depending on what's left, because we used like the carry count money, it's not something I actually, budget, say I'd capital outlay. So what I was gonna do is see, make sure how much is left from it, and then I'll get a quote or price or whatever from the engineer. And like I said, either, he can either go ahead and plot it out, because like I said, North Fairview, I've had plotted out, it's a done deal. It's just now we got into the money of actually doing the drainage and road. So I could have him plot it out, say for next year. And then if the money's not there to actually put in a couple of the roadways or finish it, then we might wait a couple of years before we actually open it, or, we already mow it, every week with, it's just part of the cemetery. It's already mowed and maintained,
But, and I don't know if I'm being obvious about this or not. To me, I'm thinking about the overall operating cost and the efficiency. And should we try to drive people towards using existing plotted land out there and filling that up before we open new? Because once you open the new and you put the roads in, you gotta start maintaining them. You may have,
well, it says we already mow it. It's just part of the cemetery now. We mow it every week as part of the cemetery. So when we open it, it's not gonna be any difference on us already. It's already part of the cemetery that we mow.
yeah, but the cost of the roads and those roads you're gonna start the useful life on them the day you put them in. Cause they may not have much traffic on them, but they're gonna have the weather on top of them.
It's not gonna be any different when we open new sections. You don't wanna wait to the very end to open them right at the last minute. Like I said, I'm guessing it's gonna be a couple of years when we actually open it. I'm just saying, I'm just kinda giving you a heads up that
Yeah.
in the next year, I'm probably gonna have it surveyed and go that route to open them. But it's probably gonna be a couple of years. But, cause yeah, anytime you open a new section, there's always a big rush. That's people jump out and they wanna get by the road, by the planters. You got certain areas that sell out quick. And that's what we're into now with what's left. All of them are the ones that are out in the middle. Because the ones on the outer edges are off the road, on the ends are the first ones to sell. And so now we deal with all the ones that are out in the middle of the section, so. But you don't wanna wait till right up to the last minute. But I just, but like I said, I can get it, as long as I can get it plotted and surveyed out, that still doesn't mean I open them, but at least it's ready to
Yeah.
go. And then once we start cutting in some roads, then we would probably open shortly after that.
So if they open that section, are you gonna still have plenty of room for your shop and equipment?
Yeah,
Once that's open?
yeah, it's not gonna affect our shop or anything like that. And like I said, it might even give the public some additional little parking, because like I said, there's gonna be a strip. I don't know how many feet out, but there's a certain gap there that we may actually talk about making it a big parking lot for the public. Because right now the public, they park either on the roads.
You can prepare it, get it ready, but you don't
Yeah,
have to
yeah,
open
I
it
said there's a
until-
big difference.
You don't have to open it
Right.
until everything else is filled up.
You're right.
But it's ready if we ever need to open it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so and actually so I was kind of curious, and you've been asking me for
Yeah.
a while about how many lots we have available or how long it would be, so there's the answer. And for Graham.
Well, I'm thinking like a residential developer. I think the way they would think about it is, do I go in and put in a new plot of land, and put the roads and the sewer and the utilities in, but it's not very densely populated, because I'm still selling. Of course, the advantage they have is they can price their lots differently.
'Cause
We
even-
price our lots all the same, so you get to choose, but that might be something we think about at some time. If people want, there may be lots, it sounds like there's lots that are more valuable to people than others. But I'm just saying, it costs a lot to put utilities and roads and things in and maintain them. And if you don't have them very densely populated, it's expensive on the developer. We're the developer in this case.
Because once I go forward with it, then I'll probably be coming back to you all again, because like I said, if we wanna throw in a
Okay.
military section, and if we do we wanna do something in that section? You know, memorials, you know, that's even separate. So there's still some stuff, like I said, I'll go with the engineer, like I said, this gap right in front of our parking, just south, you know. So there'll still be some design phases in it and stuff
Okay.
like that. But I just kinda wanted to give you a heads up of where we're at and, you know, probably shortly go forward within the next couple of years.
So I know at one time we had looked at maybe purchasing additional land over there behind Stevens, and was that gonna, well, I don't remember what that was gonna be for.
Oh, that was, man, he was wanting, what, over $100,000 or something for like
Yeah,
10 acres or something?
he was wanting a lot of money
Yeah.
for that land. He still owns it, and it's still for sale. And at this point in time, it doesn't appear to be a necessity for our
Okay.
Well, thanks for putting these numbers together. It's helpful. Kind of gives us an idea.
Okay, so let's see, what else? Okay, so we'll go to the next kind of big one. Okay, so this year I had budgeted, you know, 50,000 for resurfacing of some tennis courts, which we was able to get 4 done. And so I was going off some numbers that the engineer had given us, you know, last for the parking, new parking. So I guess they were underway of getting ready to just do the package deal to go out for bid, and he can explain more, but apparently, the way I more or less just, he calculated, there's some miscalculation on the asphalt. And so the parking's gonna cost a lot more than what I had budgeted for. So the money's still there, cause I budgeted, you know, another, you know, 50,000. So what I've got with the mayor and the engineers, what we're thinking we're gonna do is go ahead and just do the other 4 courts and get the courts out of the way. And then next year I'll just budget for the new parking instead of having like there's a couple of options we had, like maybe go ahead and do some of the parking and leave it gravel. And then and then budget for the asphalt next year. But it's, you know, then you kind of have it half done. You have half the course done, so like the money's there. So we'll go ahead and just, and I've contacted the company. They've got time to, whatever, they could still do the other 4 courts, and that way the courts are done. And like I said, it's money it's already budgeted.
If you wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
So, since the money that we had budgeted for doing the parking was gonna not be sufficient for the job, so that money was budgeted, so I said, well, Frank, maybe we could do those other 4 tennis courts with the monies that are already budgeted. If we did that, then there would be a process that we would go through in bidding, just like we would at any other time. He did legwork with the contractor that just completed the courts that we just did, and said that he had the materials and he had the time, you know, to do it in pretty short order. So there's not anything on the. We talked about that today. We got some other. I talked to our city engineer, and so the asphalt, the projected asphalt costs are a whole lot different now than they were when we were originally talking about that project, which was probably 6 months ago. So anyway, since we have the money's budgeted, it made sense to consider just going ahead and doing the rest of the tennis courts.
Because I was on budget to do the other 4 next year.
Yeah.
And this way they're done.
So it doesn't affect the budget at all. So what Frank, I think, wanted to do was bounce that off you guys and see if you had any opinions about it.
Sounds like it. That's what I would do.
I'll get them to rebid it out and probably go to the next council and go ahead and just do the other 4. One question I do have to you all is, you know, the first course was going to include a pickleball. Do you want us to do that again, even on the east courts? Like have 1 court on each with
Well, I
pickleball.
think so. I
It
actually,
was only like $350 extra to have them tape off.
I think you should. I was surprised to see how many people play that until you.
They
start
done
seeing-
they done a good job, this company. This first time we've used this company, and they come in and leveled up what he called the bird baths, the low areas. A lot better, so it come out good.
He had a lot of people on that job too, 'cause I went by there several times. There
Mhm.
were lots of people out there
Yeah,
working.
and he got done quicker than he thought. When he first told me, he thought just like everything else right now, he didn't know if he's gonna be able to get them actual coating. I guess they said right now you can't hardly get like street paint, and they said this stuff's made out of the same material, but they said somewhere he come across 10 barrels and that was just enough to, so. But I've talked to him and he said, yeah, I mean, they're finishing up a job now, and of course I'm gonna get with both companies again and stuff, but then it was just the dependent on weather, but he said, yeah, they could get it done. So, and then I'll do like theirs, we'll repaint the poles, on it, and we're still gonna rebuild that practice wall. But,
You know, Frank, quick question on that. Do we have good information that we can project useful life on these courts? As far as how often should we plan on having to resurface those courts and redo those parking
yeah,
lots?
when they first told us, I'm trying to remember, it was every, it can vary, but every 2 to 4 years. And I think this one's, I had
Yeah,
the
I'm not-
numbers down when we done it last. It's been like 4 years.
And about how much, do you have an idea ballpark, what it takes to resurface all those courts when we do it?
Well, this particular year, to do the 4 we done, it was 46,000.
So about 100,000 for all of the courts
See,
we do.
Okay, so this first time we've used this company, Hensel was about half as cheap. He's the one that's done it every other time and no bidded this time. And I'm not trying to say anything towards anybody, but you can almost kind of tell the difference. You almost maybe get what you pay for. I mean, to me, this company's, to me, they look, I don't know, they just done them, so I can't tell you in a year or two if they've held up better, but it seems like they took more time to level up the low spots and stuff.
Did this company give us an estimate about how long it felt like that the surface would last?
No, I know I think it's a year or two warranty.
I think it's got a couple, yeah, I think it's a 1-year warranty. Normally it's a 1-year warranty. But,
I think these would be good numbers to have for whoever does the budget for the Parks Department.
Yeah, because this
To
is,
know that every, 4 years, we're gonna have,
yeah, this
throw
is,
about 100,000 at it, maybe.
is it the 3rd time we've resurfaced, I think, already?
I lost track a long
So,
time ago, yeah.
We've been in our shop, they resurfaced the very first time just shortly after we got in our shop, so it's like 10 years, 12 years. And I think this was the 3rd resurface already, so it's averaging every 3 to 4. This was the longest I think we went. I think the first time was like within 2 years, and then the next time was a little bit longer, and a lot of it's just dependent on budget. Because somewhere in there we done the basketball, and I have not redone the basketball since it originally was done, but it needs it.
So if it's a 3-year useful life, and that's 35,000 a year, basically, we need to be setting back.
And so I did go to the school, but they said that their auditors been really on them about where they spend their money, and that they can't spend on stuff that's not their property. Not that they haven't before, but that's why, just 2 years ago, like, we made a deal where they bought 4 nets and I bought 4 nets, but anyway, that's what I was told.
Yeah.
That's what I was told. So, but I did go to them, to see if they would be willing to pitch in or help. Because a few years ago, when we built the bleacher covers and stuff, they paid for the material and then we done the work, kind of one of those deals.
so
Anyway,
The school
it's-
system seems to be very supportive of assisting, but when it comes to capital project, they have some guidelines about spending money where it's not their property. So,
he just said that, you know, they've done so much last few years, the auditor's cracking down on them of where the money's being spent. That's what I was told, so, okay. So it didn't hurt to ask. So anyway, so that's there, just kind of heads up which way we're going or what happened. So if you've drove by the park lately, you know, here a few months ago, state agency come in and hauled off some ducks and geese. It's like they got rid of the geese and the duck population exploded. So, and just letting you know, I've contacted them back and they're supposed to be coming back, cause it exploded big time. I don't know if the geese was running them off, but anyway, I've contacted the agency and they're coming back.
I think most of those ducks was in the nest. There was little ducks.
Well, they were
got the geese.
spreading out other neighborhoods, but it's like with the geese gone, I don't know if the geese were mean to them, but it's like they came back, you know. But
I
anyway.
drove through the other day and the same thought process, I remember you saying we had brought somebody in.
Yeah.
I said, boy, I don't know if they knew
When
what
are they coming?
wasn't a duck or a geese, if they knew what one looked like, 'cause man, they were packed in there.
So if anybody says anything to you, I've contacted them again, and they're supposed to come back. Restrooms are still doing good, but the kids have been getting a little more rambunctious lately. We do have to do a couple little repairs on the, I went to the police department, you know, there's the camera, and I've got him back tracing to see if, you know, they got anything on the camera. They've been kicking on the doors and your enclosures and stuff, we gotta replace, you know, so they're starting to get a little climbing on the brick partitions inside, and they're starting to get a little more. So, okay, so Bobby Buck. So so we've had this discussion, we bought the toy, there's been talk of building the shelter, a new shelter at Bobby Buck. And a couple years ago, I actually pre-bought, you know, a lot of the steel. I just want to make sure, are we still on that route? I mean, I've got probably half the material to do the shelter, so do we still want to, because it's that time of year, if we do it, this is when we would normally be getting on it. So do we still want to put up another smaller shelter there at Bobby Buck?
Have you got a design for it yet, or
I was gonna do.
how big is it gonna be?
I was gonna do it pretty simple, like the last one we built at the park along Park Street's kind of long, just a simple, not as big as that one, maybe 12 by 24. It's more kind of a simpler, you know, none of these multi-roof type or nothing like that, just kind of nice, simple one. Probably there on the south end. I was gonna leave the west corner open. Yeah, I know there's talk of restroom, but that's where the previous ones were, so kind of on the south, but kind of there in the middle along the trail, just run it. And so I just wondered,
That'd be really nice there.
just wanted to run it by you, because a lot of the material has already been pre-bought, and so I just wanted to run it by you, and are we still, since the toy's actually up now, we kind of held off for there for a while because, you know, things kind of got a little, so, okay. So other than that, that's,
The sign at Centennial looks really nice.
yeah.
Looks
they've
really good. Now people will know what Centennial Park is.
Been there how long?
I know, it looks really good.
We'll see eventually if someone comes and volunteers to plant, you know, something around it down there. Other than that, I think that's all I got for now.
Okay, anything else for Frank, anybody?
Is anybody gonna give us an update on swimming pool?
Not tonight.
Can you tell us, how did it go? All I know is what I read in the paper. What do you guys, is it still, is it under consideration? Is that,
Yes.
okay,
Council will have an opportunity to make some decisions about the pool sometime in the next few months. But before we do that, council will bring some
Item number 7, golf course report. Mr. Bowman.
Good evening, everyone.
Hello, Dennis.
Well, as everyone knows, the weather's been fantastic in October, and our numbers show it. Just seems like, there for a long time, I talked to Wayne Jones. He came out to the golf course the other day, and he said, for a long time, we had a lot of struggles with weather and floods and everything, but this year's just been the opposite. Everything we do seems to be really good. The weather's great, and our numbers are reflecting it. I know last meeting I told you we had 3 record months, and now October is going to be a record month. So last year we had, I think, a very successful year. Golf course did, 460,000 or something like that, and we did 27,000 in last year in October, and as of today, we've already done 41. So our record in October is only like maybe 29,000. If I remember looking back for the years that since 2001, since I've been keeping track. So it just tickles me to death that to see so many people coming out, enjoying our golf course. And I talk to them. I try to talk to them as much as I can. Where are you from? What made you come out here and play? And every one of them says, "Hey, we heard the golf course was really good." So it just goes to show you, if you put out a good quality product for the value, the word spreads around, and sometimes that's better than any advertising you can do by buying advertisements. So we're just off to a great start. If we continue this trend and if we just do the same numbers, I run some numbers, if we just continue, just do the same numbers as we did last year, not have any more record months, I think we can break the 500,000 mark. So that's $500,000 out there at the golf course. So that's my goal, is to hopefully we can break that one. So I think that would be pretty neat to be able to do that much money out there. So any questions about any of the numbers, anything like that?
I was reading an article and I made a note to see who it was from. I noticed over the last couple of years you've talked about kind of golf has been, you challenged with kind of golf was declining. The article I read said that golf is really on the upswing nationwide. Is that something that you're seeing?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So it's come out of this trough.
Right. And I don't know if you remember, I think it's 5, 6, 7 years ago, when we started talking about doing that silver program, the marketing guy that wrote that book said that it was going to turn around, but it would be, he thought 7 to 10 years. He did statistical numbers, I guess because he's a big marketeer. So he knew it was coming. I don't know if COVID made it come earlier or it just came earlier, but they said that it was going to have some good numbers, but it just hit earlier than I thought it was going to hit. I was thinking another year or two before we really got going again. So, but man, we're hitting those numbers now like we used to do back in the 90s.
So I think the interest here is what are we learning from this?
Mm-hmm.
So that as we go forward, but are you seeing it in our typical categories? Used to be we had senior men,
Mm-hmm.
we had the women, the ladies, then we had the membership, and then we had the greens fee paying public. And we used to run seemed like my numbers were about 200 average memberships. What are you seeing now as far as senior men? Is it to the numbers we used to have, or is it still down some?
No, I think it's getting up there. The senior men, and that's memberships. We're getting a lot of senior memberships, but some of the things we've done that's really helped people is our monthly memberships. Our monthly memberships, that number has really grown because we just keep selling them. It's pushing $4,000 a month in revenue right now. So we're used to, it was 700, 800 not that long ago. So now it's there's a lot of seniors. More of the seniors tend to pay all at once. They like to just pay it all at once. But that's a lot of the 30-year-olds, 25, 30-year-olds are really taking advantage of that. The working people are really taking advantage of that monthly membership now.
So is that the group that you're, if you were, if somebody said, hey, Dennis, where's this extra play coming from?
Yeah, that's the group,
It's more
right,
the 30 group.
yeah. And the seniors are, that's growing from the people coming from Tulsa, Broken Arrow, Owasso, Sapulpa, coming over and playing just because they hear the golf course is in good shape. That number has grown too, but that's the ones that seem to say, hey, we just heard it's in good shape. Wagner, Muskogee, they're coming from down there a bunch.
Well, it seemed like the story used to be, our concern was the seniors are dying off, and they were the ones
Yeah,
that kept that course.
right.
And there were a lot of seniors that played
Right.
out there.
Our seniors that had a membership and a cart stall.
Yes.
Right. Those, and those, you know, we've replaced a few of them, but we've replaced members with just basically regular senior members. I had one guy come out just the other day, to your point, he moved into town, he moved from the Dakotas. And so he shopped around looking for a place to play, and I think he lives up here on the lake. And so he decided, he's out there playing, and so I got talking to him about a membership. And at the golf course he had was real similar. They had their cart stalls, and you could have, and he said everybody had the carts, and he's a retired postal worker. But anyway, he said that, so I showed him all of our options. I said, if you play that much golf, you may want to get a cart stall, get your own cart, and do that deal. And he's going over all the prices. He said, for $500 more, I'll just use your cart. I'd rather do that. So that has grown. So we've increased people buying a full membership using our cart versus the cart buildings.
Do we still have empty cart stalls?
Yes, And so he said
So
for $500 more, he just as soon use our cart. He said, you know, over 5 years, it's only $2,500. And he said, well, if I have to replace batteries, that's another $700, $800, you know. So he run the numbers in his head. He's done that before, and we just sat there and talked it out. He said, I'll just soon use y'all's cart for that much money.
Well, that's interesting, because you know, the older group preferred the
Have their
fixed
own.
fee
Right,
and have their own.
right.
But it sounds like you're able to attract the younger people who don't want to drop a lump sum. They would rather pay as you go.
Yes.
And
And use our carts. And of course,
Yeah.
we've got brand new carts, so that's enticing too. I'll hop on the brand new cart, right? So, and pay. So, yeah, we got several people that do that.
So,
Make-
so the cot though, if they're gonna use the city cots, it's
Mhm.
$500 for the whole year?
No, that was $500 difference. It's $500 more to use our cart for the whole year than it is to have your own cart in your cart stall.
Okay,
So it's $12.78 to have your senior membership for just a single, $12.78 for a single member to have his membership and his cart stall.
that's all.
And it's, I can't remember the numbers, but it's like $1,900, just come use our cart, play all the golf you want. There's like $500 more a year, but you don't have no cart, you have.
you don't have to pay for
maintenance,
batteries, no
don't do none of
maintenance.
that. And that's why we structured it that way. We wanted to entice them to use our carts, because, you know, we make more money. Make $500 more a year.
It's interesting that the pricing model would have that much influence on the play.
Yeah,
But that's interesting.
it is. Yeah, so that, and I go, wow, that's pretty good, because he just run the numbers right there. Now I just soon use your card. And we've got other people doing that too. And some of them pay it monthly, which is like $179 a month, right? So that's even, we make another more than 500, because if they're paying it monthly, it's about 10% higher to pay it monthly. So we make a little bit more on the monthlies. So that monthly, play all the golf you want with our card has really been the model that people are liking to buy. And if people can't afford that, they just buy the membership, and then they'll walk or they'll rent a cart when they choose to. And that, you know.
It's working.
It's
It's hard
working.
to argue with the numbers.
Yeah, and you know, like I said, I think it's just all come together. you know, we got some good equipment, we got some good people, we're putting out a good product, and a great product, you know, you start comparing to some of the other golf courses, you know. Guy, when I talked to another guy, he said he played Mohawk, he said, I'll never go back there, y'all's golf course is 10 times better, you know, sad for Mohawk, but it's good for us. But that's another city course, that's, their product is not very good. I haven't played there, I'm just going off of what I hear though, so.
Well, promise this will be my last question, but I think this helps us. If we're gonna be in the golf course business.
Mhm.
And that is, do these other courses have the same type of arrangement that we have? Are the people, the golf pros, independent, or are they city employees, or do you know how they're?
La Fortune is real similar to us, and as a matter of fact, that pro's probably got a better deal than I do.
Okay,
La Fortune, yeah, he's got it, but I'm not sure about a few of the other ones. I don't know how they operate. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what Andy's doing at Claremore. I don't know what his contract is. I don't know what the contract is at Bailey. I don't keep up with those.
I think it
Mohawk
probably-
and them, Mohawk, they use a firm, a company a management company. Mohawk and Page Belcher uses a management company. And I think they're really suffering because of that.
Was that the Casper group?
I'm not sure who's
I
doing.
thought Page was.
Yeah, it could be, yeah.
well, I think that's something else, a consideration is, does the type of incentives you have in place drive better results, depending on a win-win?
Right.
Versus,
Right.
it really doesn't make any difference what we do, this is what I get paid.
Right. I think the Fortune over there, I think they're doing things pretty good themselves because they seem to have a good operation. When I've been over there, golf course is good, pro shop's good, you know, it seems like it's really ran right.
South Lakes does pretty good, too, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's the same firm.
Same firm.
Yeah, Pat has both of those. He's got 2 courses that he does. So, yeah, he has La Fortune and South Lakes. They're both county courses.
And La Fortune really has a really good, their pro shop, they have a
Nice
bunch of stuff.
facilities. See, I mean, that's what I'm saying, and they're busy all the time. They got nice facilities, of course, they got a great location, but still, you gotta have the golf courses, they always seem to be in good shape, but they got the facilities to hold tournaments and outings and all that.
Our military rates out here at Pryor are Tuesday and Wednesday? Is that-
Correct.
Could that be extended for other military people to have it extended?
Yeah, I'm sure it could. You know, I wanted to do it more. I don't know if you remember when I brought it to the board to do it, and y'all decided just to do the 2 days, and that's what we started out with, and, but,
Maybe that's just something that you could consider, you know?
yeah, I get calls for it all the time.
All the time,
That's
yeah.
it. I try to do whatever I can do to help you, but
Sure.
every now and then I just give them some range balls or something to help make up the difference.
So tell me again, though, if someone was gonna pay, say, like the monthly rate to use your cards and the green, how much was that a month? Did you say 179?
Yeah, I can pull it up on my
I
phone.
mean, that's okay, that was a ballpark.
179 a month,
Yeah,
say
okay,
roughly.
that's good, that's
Yeah.
close enough, thank you.
Yeah. So under a couple $100 a month, you can play all the golf you want, hop in a cart, no restrictions,
Right,
you know, other than an event. So, nope, just, you know, if we can just, you know, we don't know what kind of winter floods are ahead of us, you know, but hopefully, you know, we went through some rough times, and I think we're actually kind of reaping a few rewards of some good times, but it's been a lot of work for a lot of different people. You know, we've had members out there help us do things, and so it's just been a good teamwork to get to where we're at, so. One of the things we're fixing to do, I think, next week, timing's good on it, but REC, or whatever you call it, PSO, has their line that feeds our pump station, and where it feeds the pump station, it crosses the river there. So I got a phone call from them the other day that they're gonna put new poles all the way across through there, all the way down the property, new poles. I don't know if you've seen them doing it up and down what we call Carbide Road, I guess that's, so they're coming across the golf course, or next to the golf course and through the golf course. And so, they're gonna shut that down for about 3 weeks. I told them it'd be fine with me on the pump station, cause we're gonna pull it out anyway, and we gotta work on it. So, they're gonna be doing that, and, I asked him about the poles. I said, like some bridges I'd like to replace, and he said, I can have however many poles we want, and put them wherever we want. So we might be able to use some of those nice poles, you know, that they're removing to replace our bridges, but we'll have to come up with some funds to buy the other boards to do it with. But, I'm gonna check with the county. Maybe the county would have some that they've torn some bridges out or something like that, so. Maybe we can figure out a way to replace some of our bridges out there that badly need it. So, our house, of course, the house we're building is slowly coming together. It's been a long time, so, but hopefully, in the next 30 days or so, we can get moved out of this one. And, then I need to start, getting probably updating the bids for getting that one tore down, because I'd like to do that through the winter time, get that one tore down, getting our mobile home set up so that we're not out there too long with not having anybody out there. So that's kind of the plans in the future. The crew's been painting all the buildings. Matter of fact, got a compliment on them right before I came out here. Said, hey man, guys, you've been doing a facelift around here. So we've got pro shop buildings all painted, trimmed out, so they look so much better. They needed a coat of paint for quite a while. They did the restrooms out on the golf course. The only thing we hadn't done is our maintenance building. So we've got a long, little bit to finish that up, but that's been a good project that, we got good roofs pretty well everywhere, and now get good coat of paint on everything, makes it really look a lot better. One of the things I did this summer was I took our sprayer, loaded it up on a truck and trailer, took it out to the ball field, sprayed them ball fields, and they bought the chemical, and I sprayed them, and man, do they look good. It's made a big difference getting rid of all the weeds. And of course, every now and then I go see some other ball fields and what they're doing, and these other ball fields and park departments, they're making some money, because I start going in there and, okay, we paid $6 a head to get in this place, and you look at how many people are out there, and man, they're making some money, but they got nice facilities. They got nice facilities. It's no different to me than the golf course. They're putting out a nice product, they got it organized, putting an event on, and they're making money. I don't know how they come out on their finances, but they definitely bringing a lot of people in, man. We've been to Collinsville, Wasso, Jinx, going around, but it's good to see that, hey, because if people come, grandparents, parents, they come to watch those kids play, and they'll spend the money, so. But, anyway, I enjoy helping them out here. We got the, aerifiers. I brought the aerifier up here. I had Scott run it, because he's the one that runs that aerifier. We aerified the fields. And our turf out here at these fields, we hadn't been out there. I don't know if anybody been out there. And the turf out there looks really good. So they've got nice grass. A lot of things need to be done. I know they've run some water lines out there. So once they get their irrigation maybe a little bit better, and start doing some facelifts, but I'm just kind of passing that on to y'all, because it could be a nice place out there, but they need to figure out a way to have a gate fee, because everywhere I've been, we paid gate fees to get in. So, the events we got coming up, we just finished our VFW event. It turned out really good. Man, they have so many teams. I probably turned away at least 10 teams. Probably 40 people. We marketed that thing really good. They did a good job with what they wanted to do with the tournament, and so it's sad to turn that many people away, but it's good to fill it up. We had 112 people, and I used a few member carts to fill that in, because we only have enough golf carts for 100 people. So that event went really well. It's good to help those folks. The next tournament our next thing we have going on at the golf course is the Boo Ha Ha, all right? I'm gonna pass all these out to everybody, just make sure everybody's got them. So, our upcoming events there.
Thank you.
How's your ticket sales going with it and stuff? Good?
They're going, probably not as much as we'd like, but, you know, we get a lot of people, talking about, you know, they're gonna show up, so the word is we're gonna have a lot of people out there. So, it's gonna be a really a fun deal. We've got, you know, the Thunderbirds are gonna help park cars, so we've got a place underneath the High Lines, we're gonna park the cars. We got a little entrance we've got fixed up. You'll come in, and we'll have a whole bunch of, we got 4 food trucks lined up that's gonna be there. So we got the food trucks, you're gonna walk in, go past the food trucks, we got a bonfire, we got a hay maze, that we're setting up for kids to go through. And then we've got the ride, and we've got about 12, vendors set up to pass out candy, and then we got a little game area. And we're gonna do some putting and stuff out there, so we'll have quite a bit of stuff for people to do. It's gonna be a lot of fun for them to come out, bring the family out. We've got 7 Iron Jack out there. The Lions Club is involved heavily in it, so they're really helping us out. You know, Charlie Williams and Mike Mallow, I mean, they're great. They're on top of what we need them to do. There's been some 7 Iron Jack spottings already, so. But anyway, it's gonna be a lot of fun. You know, we've got a ride for the little kids. That's not scary. It's just it'll be a little fun hay ride. Then we got the scary ride. So, trying to get all this coordinated is and the golf course being busy is taking all my time plus some. But it's enjoyable. I like it. So, but we just got a lot on the plates right now. But I think we're going to pull this off. It's going to be the first year, so we'll see how it goes. And but you know, my goal is to make this a thing that everybody says, hey, let's take the family, hop in the car, let's go to the Pryor Boo Ha Ha and have some fun tonight. So hopefully we can pull that off and have a bunch of happy family and bunch of kids out there have a good time. If y'all would please share. I'm on Facebook, we're on email, share, like. The more people we get this out to, the better.
Well, it looks like you have just done a tremendous amount of work and all of that, and I just have one concern, and only one.
Yeah.
And that is, obviously, it's gonna be dark and all that, so my concern is just safety.
Right.
So I guess I'll just throw out to you, you know, what the course is doing just to make sure everyone does stay safe.
So, yeah, we want everybody to be safe. So one of the things that we're doing, first of all, I got today, I've been working on getting some lights out there. So Johnny Jensen is allowing me to use one of his lights. He said it'll light up a football field.
Cool.
Oh, wow, we only need about half that, right? So he's gonna deliver it out to us. So the lighting is gonna be really lit up. So that's gonna help any safety issues that we have. We will have, I talked to Mesta today, hoping to have them out there because we do have anything. And the fire department will be out there with the bonfire. So we're trying to, you know, we want everybody to, just like in a golf tournament, I want everybody to come out there, have a good time, leave safe, go home. So that's the same thing that we want to have out here. So we're going to have, I think, got word a while ago, the Boy Scouts are going to be out there. So should be a simple little thing. Hopefully we don't have any issues with safety, but hopefully if something does go wrong, we're prepared.
Good.
Any questions on the?
If you gave more of these, give me some more of these and I'll.
Yeah, you betcha. You betcha. I'll get you some. With that, the other thing we're doing is our next event, November 13th, is the Reincarnation Cottages, their inaugural golf tournament. So hopefully we can make this a good event. Hopefully the weather's good. That's the only thing that we kind of gamble at. doing it this late in the year is the weather. But if the weather's good, which, you know, November can be a good month of weather. October's been fantastic, so we can, you know, hopefully we can raise them some money. They've got a good tournament. I know they've already gotten a nice, they collected a silver sponsor already, which is $2,000. So I don't know how many whole sponsors they're doing and everything, but our focus is to try to get teams and hopefully send them some sponsors their way. But anybody wants to play, a 3-person tournament's a lot of fun. Like I say, the neatest thing about a 3-person tournament is that you have a team playing with you, so the scores are always legit. You know, so there's no
No racers allowed?
no erasers going to get used on this tournament. So if a team shoots a really good score, they have witnesses to back that up. So sometimes we have wondered, you know, which is, could they really shoot that? And so, but anyway, that's the neat thing about this tournament is that the integrity of it, and but it goes for a good cause. I mean, you know, we've been blessed out here to have some of these guys. We've had some really good ones. I mean, I've been impressed with some of them. Wow, man, you know, understand you got a little sideways, but man, you're really helping us out here. So, and getting their lives back on track, you know. So that it's a great deal for the golf course, and I think we can be a good deal for them, help them raise some money. So, you know, anybody wants to play in a fun event, we're gonna have some good prizes, you know. So it'll be really good. Any questions on that? Like I said, like and share all these. Anytime you see them come across on Facebook, you should see some stuff if you're on Pryor Facebook. So I will be first week in November. I'll be attending another workshop. The first workshop I went to was sales. Second one was marketing, and this one is scaling. So you got to you know, understand sales process and understand marketing, and then how you grow the business. So this will be good too. All these things, I think, you know, the sales and marketing, I've already been implementing them all year, so don't know how much that's helped, but I know the more of that we do, the more it's going to drive our revenue without a doubt. You know, so and the scaling workshop's going to even help us figure out how to scale the business to even do more. So. Let's see, what else I have? I think pretty well got everything on my list here. I know, I think Pat last night, tonight, you know, we're gonna miss you. It's always great to have a golfer on the board, even though some of you are non-golfers, but I think most people know about that. But I always enjoy having a golfer on the board because they understand our process out there, and we'll miss you.
Thank you.
So, any questions for me?
Anything else for Dennis?
You've been busy.
Thank you, Dennis.
Thank you.
Dennis.
Item number 8, discussion and possible action regarding accepting the resignation of Pat Richard from seat number 3, the Pryor Creek Park Board, effective October 25th, 2021.
Do I have to make my own motion? Hopefully not.
Entertain a motion to accept that, her resignation.
Make a motion to accept.
Motion's been made to accept.
May I address, sir?
Let me get a second first. Or a
Second.
second?
Second.
Okay.
Pat, on behalf of the citizens of Pryor, Oklahoma, you not only served faithfully at the Park Board, but in many ways in our community.
Thank you.
And I really appreciate your service,
Thank you very
and
much.
we'll certainly miss you.
In my honor.
Thank you very much.
You will. Thank you.
How many years, Pat?
I think really this is my 4th time on the board. I know at least 3, but I think 4. I had to get off one time because I went to Kuwait,
Yeah.
and maybe another time when I went to Germany. I can't remember all probably one time when I was expecting my youngest son, I think, Dennis. So I think this is the 4th time I've been on, but who's counting? You know, who's counting?
Well, I know that when I came, you were on,
Okay,
and then you left and went to Kuwait and come back. Yeah,
Okay.
got came on again, so,
Well, I'll tell you what, I'd say the same thing, kind of mimic what Larry said, been here a long time.
Yeah.
Pat has arguably been the most active park board member we've ever had in the time that I've been here. And that's been 30-some years, I think, I don't know. But she's been very active in the golf course, the ladies. She has been significant help in fundraising, the Jock Mayer Foundation, approaching them and getting funds for the golf course. And I remember seeing her picture in the paper on the swimming pool. I thought she was on the swimming pool committee, but she wasn't. She was just down there helping run the pool at the time. Dedicated her time to doing that, but I know we're gonna miss her on the board and worked with her for a lot of years and respect her for the energy and tenacity that she has to get on a project and stay on it and make something happen. But as much as I think we're gonna miss her on the park board, I think the city of Pryor is gonna miss her. And for those of you that don't know, and I don't know all the details, but I do know that Pat's been extremely active in the Catholic Church and in their golf tournament. And I know she's been active in their fall festival for years. And also, she can provide you more detail if you're interested about the food drives that they put on. It's a remarkable what the Catholic Church does, the number of families that are fed. And so I know she's been a key contributor there to that church. And I also know that, for those of you that don't know, Pat, you're an RN, right?
Yes,
Military background, as you well know, she's gone off and fought wars for us, helped in those. But I think that also, she was part of the free medical clinic here. And she devoted her time to providing free medical services to people in this community. Now that group has since, for good reasons, disbanded because they weren't needed as much because of Obamacare and some of these other things that came along, that people had access to other services. But that was extremely important for our community to have access to those, for a lot of people to have access to those type of services. And I understand that now she's volunteering her time in Langley, which still has one of these services. And I know there's other things that I'm not aware of, and I wouldn't want to embarrass her by having her stand up and tell us about all those, but, because it kind of sounds like, man, we may need a monument here or something. But on my behalf, I sincerely appreciate somebody that's willing to dedicate the time and the energy and working for good causes. If we had a community of Pats, we could get a lot of things done. And if everybody exhibited your type of drive and initiative, a lot of great things could happen. So, on our behalf, my behalf, thanks immensely for all you've done. Enjoyed working with you and wish you the best in the future.
thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
yeah.
Thank you very much.
The only thing I would add to that is that if anyone, truly, the food drive that we do serves all of Mays County, it's not just Pryor. And we always partner with the elementary schools, and there are 11 of them, because I've been to all of them. And I would just say if anyone, truly, if anyone would like to make a donation to our Ladies Altar Society, that would be great. I know last year we paid for, I guess, both Thanksgiving and Christmas, just under, $2 under $16,000 for just non-perishables. We used to get all of our turkeys and hams from Catholic Charities, and they told us about 2 weeks ago that we're gonna get a much less, maybe half the number of turkeys, so we'll have to, figure out how to finance the rest of that, which we will do. We will do that, but donations are always very much appreciated, so I'll leave it at that. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, Pat.
Yep.
for your years of service,
Thank you, sir.
and good luck on your next endeavor.
Right, and remember, let's get through this, because I gotta drive to Broken Arrow.
Item number 9, unforeseeable business.
We need to take a vote on that.
We need
Oh,
to
yeah.
take a
We
vote.
need to vote
That's
on
right,
that.
Huh?
We need to vote on that.
Oh, we have to vote on it. We do, don't we?
Yeah,
All those in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item number 9, unforeseeable business. Seeing none, I would entertain an
Make a
Motion to-
motion.
adjourn.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye,
Aye.
Thank you, everybody.
you.